Okay, welcome back once again, Hidden Acres Homestead NC. What you're looking at is the business end of Rhino Ag TW25 Twister Series Bush Hog. This is a 5-foot wide cut. They have them in this model up to 7 feet, 5, 6, and 7. But we got the 5 foot because we have a lot of woods work to do, and it's just a lot easier to get this 5 foot into places that I've tried mowing it with a 7 foot, and it's just too many trees in the way. At any rate, one of the things you want to do is make sure, looking up here on your spindle shaft and everything, you don't have any. If you don't know the fields that you're working in, you can have people used to leave hay bale string and wire and barbed wire and anything you can imagine out in the middle of those fields, and if that gets wrapped around your shaft up here, then you are well on your way to losing that bottom seal. And when you lose that bottom seal, you lose all the oil out of the oil box, and when you do that, you end up buying a new oil or a new gearbox for your bush hog. So one of the things you need to check before you start is that. Now the Rhino says to grease these things down, I believe, about every 8 hours. This is on the spindle, which allows your tire to rotate back here, or swivel. Don't forget the one on the hub. You got to get those too. Those things see a lot of use and abuse. I've already checked the oil level in here, made sure that the breather cap, I didn't do a very good job with that, did I? I'll go back and make sure that breather cap can actually breathe there. For you safety Nazis, close your eyes. What I did actually was take this, they have a big shroud that comes installed over this, and it's a royal pain in the backside to actually adjust your slip clutch and slip it and get it burned in and then tighten it back down like you need it. I'm not an idiot. I don't drink battery acid, so I took the daggone thing off. I don't come back here when the shaft's rotating. I don't have anybody else back here when the shaft's rotating, so I'm almost 60 years old. I'll roll the dice and take my chances without that little piece of plastic crap shroud on there. You can see there's a grease zerk in here. You've got to be sure to grease your universal joints up good. There's another one up here. I've got this thing jacked up. Hang on a second. Let's lower it down a bit. There's another one up here on this universal joint. You can't see because of this shroud, but you also need to make sure it gets greased up. Like I said, the manual calls for, I think it's every 8 hours. I generally do that pretty much every time before I start using the bush hog, and then I clean the grease off the zerks so that you don't collect a lot of dust and stuff on those. But that's a lot easier to do, obviously, than when you've got this thing hooked up to the tractor. So do all your maintenance work with your grease and everything before you plug your tractor up to it. Other than that, the only thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and lower this tail wheel a little bit. Now that we're a little more familiar with the land, I don't need to mow it at quite as high a level. So I'm going to run about a 3/4 inch. What the manual calls for is 3/4 inch difference lower in the front than it is on the back. So I'm going to have to undo this bolt up here and let the tire actually ride up higher in the vertical so I can get the back end a little lower to match where I want the front. But you don't need to see me unscrew and screw on a bolt. So until tomorrow, that's it for what we've got prepped on the bush hog, and I'll take the bush hog out and wear it out again tomorrow, because you can never stay ahead of that kind of work this time of year. Until then, give us a like, give us a subscribe. I forgot to say that at the beginning, and we'll see you next time.